Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have another card from my holiday card series. I'm not exactly sure which day this is, probably day 4, but yeah, I'm back with my card series. So I'm using this adorable stamp set from My Art C. My mom and her husband found it at, I believe, Tuesday morning. So I don't know if I can find a link to it. I will definitely link that down below. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and make a pretty simple card using the stamps and the die or one of the dies in this set. So I have a piece of Neenah Desert Storm cardstock that I had cut to 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and now I'm scoring at 5 1/2 inches with my score buddy. That'll make it a top folding A2 size card. I am going to stamp the little deer in the set, the little reindeer, and I'm going to use a watermark ink. I'm using the one from Simon Says Stamp, but Versamark would work just fine, and I will link that down below as well. I didn't stagger it as well as I had hoped. I guess my original thought process was to make it look like they were running across the cardstock, but then it left wide gaps in there, so I didn't really like that. I think it might have been much cuter if I had just randomly stamped it all over. Now I'm taking that die and I'm going to run that through my Sizzix Sidekick along with some Neenah Desert Storm cardstock as well, so that'll match that background. And I think that die is just so cute. You could make some adorable tags with this set. Just some great, pretty easy, quick Christmas cards as well. I'm going to use the My Favorite Things Wonky Stitched Circle Stacks die. I recently got this when My Favorite Things had their Black Friday 35% off everything sale. And I've been wanting this one for a while, so I went ahead and bought it. And now I'm going to show you that I'm using the Marietta magnets, 5x7 magnets, and I love these because they're fairly inexpensive. They are a little bit flimsy, but they really do hold the magnets very well, or they hold the dies very well, and they're inexpensive, so you can trim them down so you don't feel so bad. So I will link those down below as well. I also cut out 2 of the Spellbinders Tags Trio, and I'm going to stamp this a couple times just to make sure that I stamped it correctly. That's why I used the die twice. And I'm using some Distress Oxide in the color Candied Apple to stamp out my sentiment, and that one came from the stamp set as well. I have some red baker's twine. I don't remember exactly where I got this from. I've had it for a long while, but if I can find that, I will link that down below as well if that's something that you're interested in. And I'm just going to wrap that around my card base 3 times and then snip that down. I will tie a quick knot, and then I'm going to hold that in place with my reverse tweezers. Now, if you don't have a pair of reverse tweezers, these I feel like are quite essential to any crafter. They're inexpensive, and just like that, it'll hold my twine in place while I try to tie my bow around the tag, which normally you'd need somebody else's finger for that. If you've ever wrapped Christmas presents and said, "Here, I need your finger," the reverse tweezers would work great. So here I am just using that and making my bow, manipulating my bow a little bit just to make it look how I would like it to look. And then when I have that ready to go, I'm going to start assembling everything else. So I'm going to take that wonky stitched circle, and I love the word wonky. I don't know why, I just like it. And I'm going to use some foam tape on the back of that, just on the top and bottom, because I want my panel to be popped up, so that there's at least a little bit more dimension. This card is obviously a fairly simple card, so a little dimension goes a long way. And I'll take off that backing paper once I've decided kind of where I want that. And then I'm going to stick that down on top of my card base. I end up not liking that the tag is just all over the place. I'll trim down the baker's twine just a little bit, and then I'm going to end up adding some foam tape to the back of my tag as well. I don't know why I didn't think of this right away. I guess I wanted it to be free-flowing, but at the end of the day, I didn't. So I ended up putting some foam tape on that and just sticking that down. And then I'm going to grab my adorable little reindeer die cut, and I'm going to stick him down using some tacky glue. You don't need a lot, just a little bit, because you know his little parts can be a little bit flimsy. They're very thin, so you don't need a lot. And I'm just going to stick him down on top. And then to finish him off, I am going to grab some joyful stickles, and I'm going to make him look like Rudolph. Of course you have to, right? And you could go crazy and add even more, but I thought I'd stop there. And that'll finish off the card for today. So if you liked this card, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I plan to have a few more cards for my holiday series. And as always, guys, thanks for stopping by.